The Intercontinental Championship is one of the oldest and most prestigious championships in the history of the business, dating back all the way to 1979. Many legendary names have held this belt and have done so just before achieving world title success and having their names immortalized in wrestling history. However, post-Attitude Era, the IC title has lost a lot of the respect that it once commanded. As time went on, it became more of a prop than a piece of championship gold. That was only until it landed in the hands of a certain Austrian wrestler, Gunther. The Ring General has brought back the title's prestige and has made it one of the hottest topics of wrestling discussion today. With that said, here's how Gunther became the king of the IC title. Gunther, formerly known as Big Van Walter or Big Daddy Walter back in the Indies, made his WWE debut in 2019. The Vienna-born sensation had been wrestling since 2005, finally getting his big break when he joined NXT. He has proved himself in several promotions such as WXW, Evolve, and PWG. In WXW, he became a household name and even became the head trainer. Long story short, during his NXT run, he's best known for an iconic 870-day-long run with the NXT UK Championship. This was one of the longest title reigns in WWE's modern history, only to be overshadowed by Roman Reigns' time as the Universal Champion. However, Reigns wouldn't even achieve half of what Gunther did when he became the Intercontinental Champion. Gunther arrived in the main roster in SmackDown back in April 2022, alongside Ludwig Kaiser. He rose to the top of the mid-card as he faced and defeated Ricochet for the Intercontinental Championship on June 10th, 2022. In the next 2 months, he would establish himself as a fighting champion by beating Ricochet in a rematch, followed by another successful defense against veteran Shinsuke Nakamura. He would then defeat Sheamus in a Dave Meltzer rated 5-star thriller at Clash of the Castle, and later in a rematch on SmackDown. Gunther would add names such as Rey Mysterio, Braun Strowman, and Madcap Moss as more feathers in his cap for the remainder of 2022. He then made the IC belt look even more important at the 2023 Royal Rumble, when he lasted for a record-breaking 70+ minutes in the match. The Ring General would put on another strong showing at WrestleMania 39, when he was victorious against fellow Europeans, Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. He'd move to Monday Night Raw along with his group Imperium, but not before defending the title one last time on SmackDown against Xavier Woods. On the Red brand, he'd continue his dominance as champion by defeating anything that moved. He defeated Mustafa Ali at Night of Champions, and this was followed by successful defenses against Matt Riddle at Money in the Bank, and a singles outing against Drew McIntyre at SmackDown. He would then beat Chad Gable in a competitive matchup, and the same week, he'd break Honky Tonk Man's record as the longest tenured IC champ in history. This was followed by memorable wins against Tommaso Ciampa and Bronson Reed on Raw. Gunther then faced another man who made the IC title relevant again, The Miz. He beat the Awesome One at Survivor Series and defeated the 8-time IC champion again on Raw, which was his last defense of the year. After another strong showing at the 2024 Royal Rumble, coming in second place again, he picked up wins against Kofi Kingston and Jimmy Uso. So this is how Gunther became the king of the IC title. 1. He restored the prestige of the title. In the past 2 decades, the WWE Intercontinental Championship has mostly been looked down upon, unlike the past when it was considered to be the workhorse's championship. The IC title had become an afterthought, and only a select few champions like The Miz and Cody Rhodes made it look like it meant something. Recent champions weren't able to elevate the title, Nakamura barely defended it, Sami Zayn was taken as a joke, Ricochet felt underwhelming, and the list goes on. With Gunther as the champion, the title feels important due to him defending it all the time. John Cena had the same effect on the US title in 2015 during his Open Challenge days. Currently, the title's being defended against everyone, which includes some of the biggest names in the company, even former WWE champions like Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. In both the Royal Rumble matches, he represented the IC title like never before, as he made it to the final 2. despite entering at number 1 in the 2023 bout. Even when he's not defending the title, Gunther makes it seem like it means the world to him in his promos, and he's making the belt seem like a main event championship. 2. He carries himself like a champion should. WWE has a habit of booking heel champions badly, making them seem more cowardly than cunning. This makes them look weak, and it doesn't do many favours for the face up-and-comer that's about to beat them. Even the Honky Tonk Man, the man who had the honour of being the longest reigning IC champion before Gunther, went through this. The Elvis impersonating Hall of Famer used to cheat his way out of losing the belt constantly, either winning from interference or getting himself disqualified to retain the title. With Gunther, you get a longer reign as champion, but with strength being used to keep the belt around his waist, rather than trickiness. Despite being a heel, he wins his matches cleanly and even shows respect to the people that he faces. He has an aura about him that not many champions do have, and he also looks the part, with his physique having significantly improved since his jump to the main roster. Like the good old days, the IC title was used as a stepping stone to the world title, and by the looks of it, Gunther seems fit for such a role. 3. He delivers high quality matches. Perhaps the best aspect of Gunther's long and illustrious title reign is his work right after the bell rings. You can always expect him to put on a clinic against whoever the WWE puts in front of him. This comes as a result of him honing his craft for years in the indies and paying his dues. He made history by becoming the second IC champion to get a 5-star rating from the WWE's most well-known critic in Dave Meltzer. This happened 3 decades after he gave such a rating to Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon for their WrestleMania ladder match. Gunther got a 5-star rating from Meltzer for his defense at WrestleMania 39 against Sheamus and McIntyre as well. This was also historic as it became the first ever triple threat match in WWE to receive a 5-star score. Putting Meltzer aside, most of his matches are very entertaining, and he has shown that he can work with all sorts of different styles. He can hang with big brawlers like Braun Strowman to acrobats like Ricochet. Hence he is certainly worthy of the moniker, the Ring General. 4. He's a record-breaking machine. Records are meant to be broken, just ask Ric Flair and John Cena. Gunther did what many didn't think was possible, as he broke the Honky Tonk Man's record for the longest reigning IC champion. More recently, he broke Pedro Morales' record for the most cumulative days as champion at 619 days, another record that has been around since the 50s. He also achieved another milestone in the 2023 Royal Rumble as he entered at number 1 and stuck around in the match for a whopping 71 minutes and 96 seconds. It's unclear which records he may break next, but one thing's certain, the industry's moving forward with wrestlers like him making history. Gunther is a prime example of what can be achieved when the WWE's creative team has a talented wrestler's back. Him winning the Intercontinental Championship is one of the best things that has happened to the legendary title, and that's saying a lot when people such as Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, Steve Austin, and The Rock have held it around their waists. That being said, is he the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time? Well, that depends on how you view the reigns of legendary champions such as Randy Savage, Razor Ramon, Chris Jericho, and even The Miz. These men have had excellent era-defining reigns with the title in their own right. However, Gunther still may have a lot of time left with the belt, and we still don't know what else he may achieve in the future. Either way, his name is now in the history books, and he'll be remembered as the man who made the IC title relevant again. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, click here for another, and if you want to become a dog yourself, check the links in the description.